So we're into week number 6 of our series entitled Live Free, where we dig into the 10 Commandments, this ancient law, in a 21st century context and how we live it out. So you know what time it is. It's time for Grace Points. Let's get to it. You made it. Week number 6. Here we are. We are digging into the 10 Commandments, this ancient law, and how we live it out today. And we realized when we started this series that God builds his commandments, this ancient law, on a foundation of unspeakable grace. He begins the law by telling his children, I'm the Lord your God. I'm the one who delivered you out of Egyptian bondage, the one who took you away from the slavery and the pain and the bitterness. You shall have no other gods before me. He's building this set of commandments on a foundation of relationship and unspeakable grace. God is our deliverer. And as the deliverer, as the great liberator, as the one who set us free, he gives us commandments to show us, 1, how to relate to him, and 2, how to relate to one another. Last week, we dug into how we relate to the generation that came before us, where the Bible tells us in that kind of first commandment of the second set, you have to honor your father and your mother. It's the commandment that comes with a promise. But he reminds us that we have to honor the generation that comes before us, those that are in leadership, those that are over us. And we also realize that as we get older, we become that generation, right? So then we have to live lives that are worthy of honor, worthy of respect. Today's pretty straightforward. Today, Exodus chapter 20, verse 13 simply says, you shall not murder. Your Bible might say, thou shalt not kill. I think it's probably the most widely accepted moral imperative of the world. I think for anybody, whether you're a believer or not, whether you have a relationship with the Bible or not, most people would agree you shouldn't kill anybody. Thou shalt not kill. But then there's the understanding that as believers, we are called to value life. This is the truth of this 6th commandment, right? God builds it on this foundation that I'm your liberator, I'm the creator. He told us he was our creator in the 4th commandment, the one who made us. So now he tells us, I value you, I love you so much, and I don't want you to kill each other. I don't want you to take one another's lives. I made you all. Whether you agree or not, whether you get along or not, whether you get on each other's nerves or not, I value human life, and so should you as my children. I want to make sure that you understand that you are not to kill one another. And that's pretty easy, I think, for most of us to be able to say, I haven't killed anybody, right? Right? You haven't killed anybody, right? Okay, all right. I mean, a safe space. We don't have to dig into that today or ever. Let's just not talk about it. Anyway, it's easy for us as believers to say, I haven't killed anyone. But God has a calling on our lives to value life, not just to not kill, but to value. The question is, how do we do that? For a lot of us, we can take the easy way out and say, I didn't kill anybody, but can you say that you have labored to prevent killing? We live in a world where mass shootings come every single day. The number of people that die from gun violence is staggering every single day. Those that lose their lives to domestic violence, those numbers are overwhelming. So as believers, we have to do more than just say, I didn't kill. You also have to be able to say, I've stood with those, I've walked with those, I've cared for those who've lost someone to violence. Maybe it means that you vote, that you get the vote out, that you vote gun legislation so that we can curb some of this crazy gun violence. Or maybe it means that you're the first one there when someone loses a loved one and you walk with them through that moment of grief. Or maybe it means that you volunteer to help those who've lost a loved one to domestic violence. Whatever it is, take it a step further. As a believer, don't take the easy way out. I know you didn't kill anybody today. But how have you loved and cared for and walked with those that have lost someone? Because that's what God does for us every single day. He walks with us through life's darkest valleys. In fact, that's why Jesus came, to walk with us through this valley of sin, to die for us on a cruel cross, to make a way for us in intercession, and to promise to return so that we could be with him eternally because he loves us that much. And we've got to extend that same grace to the world. I know it's a lot to chew on today, a lot to think about. I hope you will. Always great to see you. I'll see you next week. This is GracePoints. God bless you.